Former President Trump on Wednesday took credit for bringing about the end of Roe v. Wade and the restrictive abortion laws that have passed in the years since the Supreme Court struck down the landmark decision. Trump, in a post on Truth Social, said he was able to kill Roe v. Wade much to the shock of everyone and put the anti-abortion movement in a strong negotiating position. Without me, there would be no 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 15 weeks, or whatever is finally agreed to, he wrote. Without me, the pro-life movement would have just kept losing. Thank you, President Trump. The comments are sure to be used by Democrats in future attack ads, with abortion access serving as a major motivating factor for voters since last June, when the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade and the abortion protections that came with it. Trump nominated 3 of the conservative justices who voted to end Roe v. Wade: Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. Clip and Save Amar Mauza, a Democratic National Committee spokesman, tweeted with a photo of Trump's post. Trump recently has avoided offering a clear answer on whether he would sign a federal abortion ban into law if elected in 2024. About to say 28. I think we'll finally see the last of him during this election. I hope anyway. During a CNN town hall last week, Trump repeatedly dodged a question when asked how far he'd be willing to go on a federal ban, saying only that he would work to find a solution that made sense for the country. In an interview this week with The Messenger, Trump declined to say whether he supported Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signing a ban on abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. I think that as a Florida resident, you know he didn't give an answer about would you have signed the heartbeat bill that Florida did, responded DeSantis. Trump's presumptive top challenger for the Republican nomination, he won't answer whether he would sign or not. Last month, the Trump campaign told the Washington Post that the Supreme Court decision to leave abortion access at the state level was the right way to go. This statement drew outrage from anti-abortion groups such as Susan B. Anthony, Pro-Life America, which has asked that all Republican candidates endorse a 15-week abortion ban. So, what's really interesting about this story, and I've said before, Republicans sometimes can get a little overconfident. They can look at Democrats and their performances and think, oh, I can just say whatever I want because it's not going to come back and backfire on me. But abortion rights are a very popular issue. It's like 60% of the country that backs women having the right to choose. And when you start talking about, I'm the one that killed the landmark decision that gave them that right to choose how to perform things with their own damn bodies, you're just going to alienate voters even more and increase Democratic voter turnout, because it is widely believed that the Roe v. Wade overturning played a big role in Democrats' performance during the 2022 midterms. Without me, there would be no 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 15 weeks, or whatever is finally agreed to. We had a conversation about the 6-week ban and how most women don't even know they're pregnant during the first 6 weeks of the pregnancy. So, like, a 6-week ban is, for all intents and purposes, an abortion ban. It is the equivalent of banning something without directly banning it at the time frame that is otherwise suggested. It's like, oh yeah, we'll give you 6 weeks, during which most of you don't even know you're having a kid, to decide you want to have one, and then you can't make that decision. So it's really goofy. When you get into him nominating, like the 3 justices, and I assume that's what he's talking about, his 3 Supreme Court justices, or the 3 that he nominated playing a role in turning it over. That's even more funny because, again, whether Republicans want to admit it or not, most Americans support abortion rights for women, and by bragging about how you killed Roe v. Wade and how it was your justices that helped to bring about the fall of reproductive rights, you're just going to keep alienating independent and moderate voters. And they try very hard to do their whole thing of we want to protect unborn children, and Trump likes to also spout the lie that Democrats want to kill children after they come out of the womb, which is like just outright murder, and no one supports that, like, out of any, just a complete fabrication. So it's interesting that he tries to take his extreme position, which is let's just ban abortion altogether, except maybe in cases of this, that, or the other. and then try to pretend that the people who oppose his extreme position are in fact extreme themselves, even though most of us, talking about the American electorate, back women having the right to it. So it's interesting, just like, them being able to take something that is them and try to apply it to us. But yeah, he shouldn't be taking credit for anything. The Supreme Court would have done that. Really, if anyone should take credit, it's probably McConnell, because McConnell's the one that blocked Garland from being put on the court, and that brought about, basically, if he had let Trump go, or rather let Obama go through with Garland, then Trump would have only been able to put 2 justices on the court, and Roe v. Wade most likely would not have been overturned. So if anyone should be getting the credit for killing a landmark decision that was very popular and well liked, and was part of American law for almost 50 years, it should be McConnell, because he's the one that did the unprecedented decision of stopping a Supreme Court justice for as long as he did.